Yo, what's up, Clipper Nation? We are back here inside of the Intuit Dome tonight as the Clippers look to make it 5 straight wins in their matchup with the Sacramento Kings. Of course, Michael Matthews here with my guy, Fredo Cervantes of the Sporting Tribune. My guy Beav is going to be with us. He got special game reports, so be ready for that. But we're going to start here. Fredo, the Clippers are playing some of their best basketball. The energy is different in the building. The energy is different with the coach, with the players. What do you expect to see tonight from the Clippers tonight?
I mean, from tonight, talking to Ty Lue right now pregame, he was just talking about defensively. This team's mindset needs to come in here strong and just get the defensive stops. In the last game, you saw the rotations. They were closing out. They held a very good team in the Detroit Pistons under 30% from the three-point line. The Clippers themselves shot over 40% from the three-point line. That's another thing that Brook Lopez has been able to do in trying to maintain and keep this team above that level. But tonight's Clippers, they're favorite, 10 points.
Yeah, they better be.
I don't know. What do you think?
Nah, they should be because, like you mentioned, defense. Defense is key. Whenever you stop a team to score less than 100 points in today's era, you did a hell of a job. And you saw that against the Detroit Pistons. And I think that's going to be their calling card going forward. Last year, they won 50 games, and it was a lot because of their defense. I know they got James Harden. I know they have Kawhi Leonard, but it's defense that can help this team get on the roll, and that's why they've been playing the way they've been able to do so. But we got to talk about Kawhi Leonard coming off of the double nickel in that win over the Pistons. What do you hope to see from him tonight? It seems like he's playing way more aggressive. Maybe he's feeling way better as far as health, but something about him, he is playing at an uptick in this run.
Yeah, he recently just turned it up a notch right now, especially getting a career high. I mean, I was shocked. I didn't know that his career high was 45 ahead of this one here. But him dropping that double nickel, like you said, it was just a tremendous outing. But, you know, I was talking to someone earlier today as well. It's like, Kawhi needs to keep that consistency level, being able to stay healthy on the court, and just being available for this team, because we know as of the past few years, he has not been available for this team every single year. I think the most games he played was over like 60 games or so, but, you know, to be able to be that player, turn this team around after having a bad start. Right now, they're on the 4-game winning streak. You know, you talked about it. They're trying to get that 5th one today against a very depleted Sacramento Kings team. So let's see what that's going to look like tonight, Michael.
Yeah, and you know, the Clippers has a chance. You know, if they come out and play their part, they gotta play defense. They gotta score when they get these one-on-one opportunities, which they're seeing a lot more of due to the spacing that Brook Lopez at center is able to do. But hey, the Sacramento Kings, they got some names over there. DeMar DeRozan, you got Russell Westbrook, who's going to be there, Sabonis. So they're not going to be any scrubs, even though they're struggling. I don't think they should be overlooked. But, of course, as always, my guy Beav got you covered with some of the keys to the game after him spending time with the Kings.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Beav. Tonight, keys to success for the Clippers. Start fast. Start with outrageous pace, right? You have Russell Westbrook, a former Clipper that's in the building, his time here. You got DeMar DeRozan, a deadly mid-range shooter. You got to get into it quick because the Sacramento Kings are short-handed, but if you play fast, you can take care of the ball. Be active on the glass. The team is starting 3 rookies. The Clippers have rookies themselves, but they're also slowly getting healthy. So Brook Lopez, Giannis, James, Kawhi, all hands on deck when it comes to the board. And the last thing, turnovers. As long as this team keep the turnovers to a minimum, the team will be successful. If you see over this 4-game stand in which they're winning these games, the turnover rate is very low. So if the Clippers keep that going, they will take home the victory at night. So I appreciate y'all. This is the keys to success for the Los Angeles Clippers. Let's go.
So we just heard from Beav, man. Beav understands that the Clippers, it's on them to be successful. They have to ball out. They have to do their part, and I think everything will fall into place for them tonight. Fredo, what are something that they can carry over from the last game other than three-point shooting and defense that can help them win?
Committed to the other side of the court, committing to playing defense. I think overall, that's it. Because this team, offensively, you know they ain't got no problem scoring the ball. You got Kawhi Leonard, you got James Harden, 2 of the best scorers in the NBA right now, even though they're pretty old on the older side, but they can still put that ball into that hoop. And exactly what Tyronn Lue was talking about, defense, that's it. So that's what this team got to do in order to win 5 in a row.
Gotta play defense. Gotta do your part. Lock up.
How do you do it? How do you shake it up side to
gotta
side?
side your feet. Gotta communicate. Gotta have active hands. You just gotta play hard. I think defense is some ability there, but a lot of it is just I'm gonna put some effort to this end. They weren't doing that earlier. That's why they sit at 10 and 21, but they win 4 straight because they lock it in on defense. So let's see what happens. So before we go, as always, we got to give you that player that we feel tonight that is going to shine the brightest. Who's going to help the Clippers win tonight, Fredo?
I mean, tonight I think it's going to be Brook Lopez. I think,
like
honestly,
that.
he's going to be an X factor tonight. He's going to be able to stretch the floor a lot, especially playing against a type of team like this. That they're going to focus on Kawhi. They're going to try to get the ball out of James Harden's hands. Guess what? That's going to open up Brook Lopez, either some pick and pops. But I think X factor, I think it's going to be Brook Lopez tonight.
I love that pick. I think I chose Brook Lopez last game because I just know even if he doesn't score as much, he's key with his spacing. But I'm gonna go the cheat way out.
All right.
Kawhi Leonard, after scoring 55, he's gonna get 30 plus tonight. They're going to step on the Kings' throat early. Kings are a team, I've noticed this season, you punch them in the face early, they just lay on the ground. You know, they stay knocked out. They don't try to get up. And I think that Kawhi is going to come out aggressive early and try to say, hey, maybe I can top 55 points, but I don't think he will. But he's going to get close. And I think the Clippers are going to make it 5 straight victories. So make sure you guys stay with us. We're going to be here after the game to talk to you about what happens. Hopefully something good. It's going to be myself, Fredo, B, talking more about it. Full Clip Clippers Unleashed. We see you after the game, baby. Yo, what's up, Clipper Nation? Michael Matthew here of Full Clip Clippers Unleashed, and I am here outside of the Clips shop where you can get all of the latest and greatest when it comes to the Los Angeles Clipper. Dope jackets, shirts, caps, whatever you need. The Clip shop has it for you. And don't just listen to me. My guy Beav is inside to show you exactly what they will have for you this season.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Beef, Clipper Nation, inside the Clip store. I'm gonna show you some new things. It's getting cold outside. I'm gonna show you this new Clipper jacket, windbreaker, very fashionable. We have Clipper hoodies. We even got my favorite. I know you probably seen me wear it last year. You're gonna see me wear it again this year. This new windbreaker, very simple, very sleek. You see how the Clippers do it. Los Angeles, you can wear it anywhere. We got Clippers jerseys, Clippers bags, whatever you like. Clippers basketball for the kids. It's so much merch in this store. I love this jacket, something nice and sleek. It's so much you can do in this store. We have jerseys, top to bottom, so make sure when you stop here at the top in the Terrence level, stop here at the Clipper store and get your merch.
Ty, John was questionable. I was just kind of wondering if he's good to go tonight or not.
Yes, sir.
Kind of what do you is he back in the starting lineup then?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What are you kind of looking for out of your guys tonight to kind of build off these last 4 games?
I think, paying attention to detail, like having the right intent defensively to start the game. Like, we got to hang our hat on being a good defensive team. And so we know, like, we'll be able to score the basketball, but you're not going to make shots every night. So we got to be locked in, understand what we're doing defensively. And like I said, the last 5-6 games, we've really been in tune.
Coach,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
you guys beaten 4 pretty good teams. Now you're playing a team not doing as well. How do you make sure that their competitive nature supersedes human nature and, kind of have a letdown?
We're not playing. We don't have the best record in the league as well, So, I mean, they're a good team. They have great talent. Russ is over there, DeMar is over there, Murray's over there. So they have really good talent, and they can win games as well. And so it's not going to be an easy game by any means. So we got to come out with the right mindset, move the basketball, but having a defensive mindset to start the game is going to be the biggest thing.
Coach, I know I keep harping on defense, but I think that's a big reason why you guys have been playing well lately. So my question is, your conversations with Coach Van Gundy during the game and you guys' dialogue, can you take us behind the scenes on what that's like during the game? I know I'm up in the stands, so I can't really see what you guys are saying, but can you run us through what that's like in games, your guys' conversation, making adjustments, defensive things like that between you and JBG?
I think, matchups, I think talking the night before the game, just talking about what our adjustments could be, what we're going to do, what we see, if certain things hurt us. And we just have a great dialogue on the bench, just understanding if we want to be more aggressive of blitzing and pick and rolls, if we want to put our center on a different player to try to, give them a different look. And then just, I think with the best players, with the best players on the team, just being able to give them different looks, like not give them a steady diet of the same thing because, they're great players, so they'll be able to pick you apart if you do the same thing every single possession. So just, mixing it up, doing different things, and just try to keep those guys off balance.
Is what you're seeing from the defense now kind of what you'd envisioned at the start of the season that you'd get from this group?
Yes, ma'am. I thought we would have great carryover from last year, but it didn't happen that way. We wasn't great defensively to start. But I think, the new guys and now our older guys are, starting to understand what we're trying to do, what we need to do every single possession, and, continue to keep building that foundation. And so our guys have gotten a lot better, understanding, paying attention to detail. And so we just got to continue to keep growing.
Kawhi, the Western Conference Player of the Week, Coach. From your personal standpoint, where would you place him in the league tier-wise when he's playing like that? How confident are you game in, game out with him and his performance and his mindset right now?
Yeah, when he's healthy, he's top 7-8 player in the league, on both sides of the basketball. And so we understand that. So the biggest thing is just trying to get him healthy and keep him healthy has been the biggest factor. But we know once he steps on the floor, he's a dynamic player, and he's right up there with the greats. Once, he's healthy and able to play consistent minutes at 38, 39 minutes, he's a tough cover.
Ty, what have you liked about the communication you guys have been putting forth defensively so far in the last week and a half?
Yeah, it's been good. Our non-talkers have been better talkers. And I think, when you're playing defense at a high level, it becomes fun. Usually that's the hard end of the floor, but when you're playing at a high level, you're creating steals, you're executing the game plan, it becomes fun to play defense. And like I said, the head of the snake is, Chris Dunn every single night of just being that point of attack defender, a guy who's flying around, a guy who's covering for a lot of different people on the floor, and it's just contagious.
What are some of the things that you weren't seeing done consistently in the first whatever part of the season that you have seen done well and at a high level consistently in the last week and a half here?
I think defensively, just finishing rotations. I think we've got a lot better with that. I think, rebounding the basketball, we've been better. But also just, our bigs presenting to be up more on the pick and rolls, like we talked about a few games ago, where you don't give a point guard or a guard all the options to snake back, get downhill, to pull up jump shot. So now with our bigs being up, presenting up, they can't just go downhill at us. And I think that's helped us out a lot. But when they make the pass, our guys are pulled in low man. We create more turnovers getting out in transition. And then offensively, just, passing the basketball and hit the open guy.
Hey, T. Lou, you had Russ out here. Can you just speak to your time with him and reflect on what he's doing now for the Sacramento Kings?
The same thing he does everywhere he goes. He just plays at a high level, brings all the guys along with him. And then this year, like you said, shooting, I think, it's the highest he shot from the three-point line in his career. But just, a winning player. Like, he does everything it takes to win, whether it's taking charges, whether it's a rebound, in the game stops, guarding the best player. He brings all that every single night.
When you look at, Russ, DeMar, guys who are quote-unquote older in their career, still producing, just give me your thoughts on that. These guys still playing at a high level late in their careers.
Just love the game. We talked about it last week with Katie and James, and then you got, Russ and DeMar, but those three guys came from the same place, OKC, and just having a love for the game and, wanting to play every night, getting on the floor every single night, and they just love the hoop.
Coach, you guys are shooting almost 20% better from three over this winning streak over the last 4 games than your opponents. How much do you attribute that to something you guys are doing on one end or the other or both? And how much is just finally the shooting luck is going back in your favor a little bit?
Yeah, I think, finally making shots. I think all the guys that we had on this team that shot great last year, we didn't start the season out shooting the ball well. And now as of late, generating more threes, taking more threes and making more threes. And so there's a lot of games we came after the game like we haven't made shots. We can't make shots. But, lately I think guys have been stepping up, making shots. I think the ball's moving a lot more than it did early on in the season, and guys are more confident taking those shots.
Getting back to the defense, was there a specific thing that kind of clicked with everybody? Is it just an effort situation? And is Coach Jeff Van Gundy able to smile at all, given the recent production?
Not yet. But I think, all of us just staying with it. Like, every day just coming in, having a chance to practice, having walkthroughs, just trying to clean the defense up, understanding, what we need to do better, as a coaching staff, and then related to our players. If we have to change some things because we don't have that personnel anymore, then we got to do that as well. And so, like I said, I think JVG's done a great job with that, just adjusting to our personnel and who we are, and then just taking from there, just trying to get better each day.
Coach, what's the challenge going from a team like Detroit that is fully healthy, essentially, at the top of the East, to a team like Sacramento that has multiple players out? Like, what's the challenge of keeping your guys locked in through different matchups like that?
Because we're going through the same thing. Yeah, we have 4 guys out as well, or 3 guys out as well. So, we understand that we got to just keep playing at a high level defensively. That's got to be our mindset. And, you can't, just because of their record, they still have great players over there. And, it's not going to be an easy game for us by any means. So we got to be ready to play.
Ty, I want to ask you about Nico. He's been pretty impactful and influential over these last, week and a half or so. What have you seen out of him that still allows him to be this helpful this late into his career? And did you anticipate having to use him this much as you have this early in the season?
Yeah, always. He's a great connector. He can play with any unit, can play with any other 4 guys on the floor, and he can do a lot of multiple things. Like defensively, he can guard 1 through 5. We know he's a great shooter, and then he's just a great connector. Like, he's not a guy looking for shots on the floor, trying to hunt shots. He's a guy just making winning plays every single night, and so you love to have guys like that on the team.
Coach, even though it has been a small sample size, can you talk about Yannick and his development on the court? And last game, Brook Lopez was talking to him. He was in foul trouble. Just his energy and things like that, how he's growing with the team.
Yeah, for me, just looking at his competitive spirit, just having a chance to see him go up against Big Steven Adams and Sangoon and not backing down and being physical. And then last game going against Isaiah Stewart, where he didn't back down and was still trying to be physical. And so that's half the battle right there as a young player, just playing hard, competing, and not afraid to mix it up and be physical. And he's done that. And so setting screens, getting off of it, getting behind the defense. He's got behind a few times. We haven't thrown the ball to him. But, one time just because of his speed roll in Portland, Kawhi was able to walk down the lane and, lay the basketball up because his guy had to get back to him. So just continue to keep developing, just continue to keep learning. But he's done a good job so far.
Along those same lines, Ty, Brook drawing bigs out, how has that affected James and Kawhi's ability to just break down their man and get to the basket?
Yeah, it's given us more spacing for sure. I think if you saw how Detroit was playing, Brook in the pick and roll with an arm bar show, and James and Kawhi was able to turn the corner, get into the paint, and once you turn the corner, the whole lane is open, and so it's a different dynamic, just having a shooting 5 on the floor, and that's what gives us problems a lot of times when we're playing teams and, just trying to account for the big worries that do we veer, do we full rotate, trying to get back to him. And it's a tough position to be put in. So he's definitely opened the floor for us a lot offensively. Yeah.
Clipper Nation, I know you're thinking what's standing behind me. It's a whole new world. Actually, it's Connectopia, something new here at the Intuit Dome. You can create your whole world, AI generated, in which it will pop up during the game. So if you hear it Intuit Dome, stop by the AT&T Connectopia event, extravaganza, tent, whatever you want to call it. Just stop by, create your world.
What's up, Clipper Nation? The trio is back. We just watched the Clippers take care of business here inside of this beautiful building, winning 131-90 against the Sacramento Kings. The game felt like it was over in the second quarter. The defense played lights out. They were able to shut them. When you shut a team down below 100, it's tough. When they can barely score 90, you're most likely going to win in a blowout. We saw it tonight. Michael, Fredo, Beeve, we'll start with you. What did you see tonight from this Clipper team that helped them dominate?
I seen a team that took care of business fast and early. Kawhi, he did not let his foot off of anyone's neck. After a 55 performance the previous night, he came in with 30 plus. So he's just going crazy, and it's like it's no end in sight.
Yeah, and you know the Clippers, Fredo, they were able to stay with the energy. We've seen games with the Clippers start off hot, and then they kind of fade. Tonight, they said we're keeping our foot on the throats of this team. We want to show the Kings we're the true Kings on the court. So what did you see for them to do that, to be able to keep the game in the blowout the way they did?
It was a high robbery out here for the Clippers. I mean, they got 13 steals to 1 with the Kings here. So the Kings had no business to be here at the Intuit Dome here tonight on Tuesday night. I mean, again, we saw what they did on Sunday night at the Crypto.com Arena. Then here, it's like Doug Christie is probably just happy to get back on the plane and leave. I mean, we got a little bit of taste of some of the players, star players here of this team, just not available for us after the game. So everyone just kind of took off. It just seemed to be a pretty bad loss. 43 points. It's just like ridiculous. It's like I don't even know what's wrong with this team. They got some talented players, but again, the Clippers seem to have turned a corner. I don't want to say it's my fault or I had something to do with it, but ever since I came into it, they're just winning nonstop.
Fredo is a good luck charm. If you know what his Dodgers work, since he's been there, 2 World Series championships for them. So maybe you might be the lucky charm, man. But, you know, you feel real bad for Doug Christie because he has the talent, but it's just like they're not playing with heart. But on the other end, with the Clippers, Ty Lue was talking about, you guys going to see the presser. Ty Lue was saying that, hey, our guys have just pretty much found their purpose for this year and are like, hey, it's time to fight. And you see it with Kawhi Leonard. You see it with James Harden. You see it with the young guys. Yannick, your guy, B, comes out and has a really good game. Just talk about what you see energy-wise and what you see from Yannick.
With Yannick, I see an athletic big that's definitely a high flyer. In the pick and roll, you know, James Harden loved these type of players. You've seen him before with Capella. You've seen him before with other players. And he's doing the same thing here with the Clippers. He's raw. He's energetic. And his points are transitioning from just his tenacity on the floor, nonstop hustle and things like that. So his hustle is turning up on the rebounding end, the points end, and even on the blocks. And that's something that the Clippers are feasting on as they're stacking these wins.
Hey, so Fredo, with this team, their issues earlier in the season was defense. We talked about that. They figured some things out on that end. But turnovers has been their problem for the last 5 years, it feels like. Tonight, only 3-4 turnovers. Just talk about the way they were able to protect the ball.
I mean, you look at a little bit of James Harden, too, being able to control the ball and seeing Kawhi Leonard be selective with his shot making, not forcing any shots. Because, again, you see a lot of teams that make mistakes out there. They just, I mean, when I saw today, they opened up the third quarter, and we're talking about the Kings here, who lost by 41 points. The Kings on their opening possession, turnover. It's like, come on, you're coming into, you're trailing by so much. You only score 40 points in the first half, 20 in the first, 20 in the second. You need to come out here with, you got to assert yourself into this game. And first play out of the locker room is a turnover. That lets you know what type of team they were playing, how messy they are right now. And all I got to say right now is the Clippers, they're on their streak right now. You look at what Brook Lopez has been able to do, expand the floor for this offense right now. And again, we were talking about pregame. Should they trade Zoo? We see that big man right now. He's not in the lineup. He's not going to be in the lineup for the next few weeks. So, again, let's see how this team is going to be looking right now. But hopefully the Clippers get the opportunity to turn things around right now with the 5-game winning streak.
Well, we're going to stop this right now because we're not going to sit here and keep going over Zubac getting traded.
It's going to be a discussion.
It's
because if they continue to play well,
we can table it because I'm going to tell you right now, and I love what the Clippers are doing. I love that this 5-game winning streak is taking place right now. But we know when the playoff time arrives, right, you need someone that can bang with the bigs of the West.
You might have them.
And this is going to change, too, because ISO ball cannot be sustainable in the playoffs. It goes to a half-court game. And right now what you're seeing with the Clippers that is being sustainable is the ISO game between Kawhi and James. And it's feeding a little bit with open shots. But Zoo is going to be here to live it through.
But because with the spacing that you have now, it ain't like Brook can't go down there. He can go down there when need be. But right now he's really adding the spacing that earlier in the season, because of the loss of Norman Powell, you can help off of Chris Dunn. Where last season you put Zubac on the same side of the floor as Norman Powell. Now you get that spacing that you need. But now without that, you want a big that can kind of open up for Kawhi and James. And Brook has been perfect. And then when you need somebody inside, the young guy Yannick is showing that, hey, maybe I can be the guy to bang that. So it's something to think about. But I'm just excited, just the energy, the fight that this team is showing, because they could have easily packed it in. James and Kawhi, we make enough money. We can just kick back and just let the season go. But they're like, hey, we don't got a first-round pick, so we might as well play for something.
For the next few years.
Yeah, for the next few years. So we might as well play for something, and they're trying to make something happen. But as always, don't just listen to our beautiful faces. Go. We got you with the post-game presser, Coach Tyronn Lue, to tell you his thoughts on tonight's win.
Ty, it seemed like you guys came out of the gates with the right intent early on and kind of kept that going throughout the entire game. When you see it's been a message you've tried to preach to the guys all season. You finally see that over 48 minutes. What does that mean to you to see that on a night like tonight?
That we're growing. We're growing as a team and understanding what we need to do. Our backs were against the wall, and our guys have responded. And I give a lot of credit to Kawhi and James, just how they've been able to play. Getting guys open shots, but scoring the ball as well. But it starts with our defense. Like I said, KD, he's a ringleader when it comes to that defensive end of setting the tone early defensively, and he did a good job tonight as well. And so the areas we thought we had to get better in, taking care of the basketball, only 4 turnovers, and then out-rebound them as well. And so those are things we got to just keep talking about, keep harping on, and keep getting better with.
Coach, can you talk about truly how proud you are of your guys? You think about how you guys started the season. Stuff out of you guys' control. Guys getting hurt. There's a lot of mishaps. But here you guys are. You guys never really complained. Didn't hang your head. 5-game win streak, playing the right way, things that you want to see. Can you talk about how truly proud you are of your guys right now?
Yeah, very proud. Like I said, just, Kawhi and James, our 2 best players, the way they responded, could have easily packed it in, and so we wasn't going to let that happen. But I give a lot of credit, to my coaching staff. They did a great job just being positive, working with the guys, staying positive, and positivity was what got us through this. A lot of tough nights, a lot of tough losses, but to stay positive, stay with this group, the group continue to keep working, and then when you work, you get results like this. And so we just got to keep it going. But we're headed in the right direction. Like I said, what Kawhi and James has been able to do, on this 5-game win streak has been huge for us.
Ty, 5-0 now since your 35 and 20 message. We brought that up to James the other night, and he kind of joked. He's like, "Is Ty taking credit for this with that message that you had?" And we said no, but
he said it.
He was joking about that. He's like, "Well, so Ty's taking credit for this with his 35 and 20." But I seriously though, I do want to ask you how much you think that kind of reset helped the group, where it feels like now that they did have a bit of a fresh start in their
it's been great for us, and like I said, Trent and Lawrence talked about it, throughout the course of that stretch and just said, just starting all over, not worrying about being 6-21, starting over and start from day one, game one. And so our guys have been able to just put it behind us. We got to just keep working and just keep pushing forward.
Coach, we talked about Yannick earlier in a press conference. Can you talk about his performance tonight? 16 points, 8 rebounds, and just, I know it said a few plays last game you said they missed, but how would you say the offense ran this game to feed the young man?
Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought his energy, just be able to sprint in the pick and rolls and get out the rolls fast enough to get behind the defense was good. I thought it was really good defensively, just at the rim, just either blocking shots or altering shots. But his energy, just running the floor, pick and rolls, getting off of it, he's done a really good job, and so he's only going to get better.
Coach, DJ's first game looked like he was trying to get the cobwebs out a little bit, but this game it looked like he had his legs under him. He had a few dunks. Looked like the DJ from before the injury. What did you see from him?
Just get more and more comfortable. I think being able to trust it and not have to think about it. So I think tonight was one of those games. Just being back on the floor, and like I said, what him and KD's able to do defensively for us is huge. And you allow great defenders like Kawhi to roam off the basketball, to create steals, to create havoc. And, DJ and KD, with those two guys defensively, they really changed the game for us.
Ty, you said it kind of like was a reset for you guys, that 35 and 20, like the message from Lawrence and Trent. Like, do you feel like the guys are playing looser? Like they're not thinking about what can go wrong anymore? They're just actually playing the game rather than thinking?
I'm not sure. You have to ask those guys. But like I said, I'm just happy and just proud of the way they responded. Just to the adversity and everything we've been through this year, and just being able to respond the way they have. It just says a lot about their locker room, and we just got to continue to just keep going.
Ty, Chris Dunn, I think, is at about 41% from three this year. On top of the defense that he's given you, and kind of just the head of the snake defensively. What is that? I know that he's had a bit of a rough start to start the season from three, but when you encourage him to keep shooting that, I guess, what is his, how is he going through those maybe shooting struggles and when he's hot?
just the mentality of our team. We've been going through struggles, and now you come out and just keep working and you win 5 straight. And he's a worker. He works every day on his shot, and at times he gets frustrated when he's not making it, but he puts too much work in not to be a good shooter, and so all the time, all the hard work, is paying off, and he does it every single day. Yeah.
Just being able to get back out there with the guys. Obviously, the time that I missed, obviously, I missed at the time. It happened. I'm glad that I was able to be around the guys as much as I could and just still have my voice in there with the team in the locker room and everything. And on the road trips, I was able to be out there for some of the road trips, a long stint road trips, but those day trips I couldn't make it to.
And then obviously they'd started the little run before you came back, and then now you're a part of it. Like, what have you seen that's changed during this stretch for you guys compared to earlier in the season?
The energy, really. Everybody's up there. Everybody energy is up there. Everybody out there flying around, just making up for everybody's mistake. If somebody make a mistake, we always got somebody out there making up for it. So, just everybody giving the full effort. And that's what matters.
What have you seen out of the, specifically, like consistency-wise, in these 5 games? What's been there that maybe wasn't there the first month and a half that was on and off for you guys?
Everything. It's not just one single thing that wasn't clicking earlier, and now it's clicking. They're just playing a full 48 minutes of good basketball now. We don't go out the first half and play good the first half, and third quarter we kind of stink it up a little bit, then fourth quarter try to pick it back up. But now it's a full 48 minutes of basketball, real good basketball from us.
John said it felt like you guys have been trending upwards. The energy had been there for a while, but now the wins are starting to pile up. You're playing more 48-minute games. Yeah. Has it felt that way, even though you've been on the sideline for a little bit? Has it felt like it's been trending upwards for you guys?
Yeah. Since we started getting these wins and everything's been picking up, I've definitely sensed a shift in the energy, and everybody is, like I said, everybody out there just picking up for each other, just having fun.
From where you were, what do you think clicked with this defense all of a sudden?
Probably KD picking up more. Nah, all seriousness. Like I said,
head of the snake.
Nah, for real. That's what he really is. He picks up and makes it hell for the other night, for the other guy on the other team, and that's what we need him to do. whenever I get out there doing the same thing. So you don't get no breaks.
But you were shooting 40% from three for a while. He's up to, I believe, 41% from three now. Does it mean when you guys, as the lockdown defenders in this team, are also knocking down your shots, how much does that change for you guys?
It changed a lot because you guys to close out. You can't just leave us open. All right, okay. You gotta give us you gotta give Y and know their space now and let them work.
What have you seen from Kawhi his last 5 games? He seems like he's just taken it to a different level these last 5 games.
He's been phenomenal. This is a basketball that we all know Kawhi can play. We all know he's capable of it. We're just gonna keep supporting him and telling him to keep being him. That's what we need.
How much does it help you guys when he's on this level? I mean, it feels like they're getting really aggressive with sending two. Once he starts getting hot, I mean, you guys are getting clean looks. Just how helpful is it playing alongside a guy who's operating at that level?
It's amazing. Like I said, that's what we need for him to do. I mean, we need him to go out there and be who he is. I mean, he's a great two-way player. Like you seen tonight, he had 3-4 steals, and everything he's doing on the offensive end, defensive end, he's leading by example. That's what we need.
Does it feel like it's looser around here? Guys are looser in games where maybe early in the season you guys were kind of not waiting but wondering what could go wrong during a game where like another team made a run. Now you guys are a little bit looser in this winning streak and just playing basketball without thinking as much possibly.
I wouldn't say that. I feel like it's, like I said before, we just playing a full 48 minutes of good basketball. We play a good 24 minutes in the first half, and third quarter, 6 minutes go by, we just let it slip away. 15-point lead, go to 2. Now it's not that. I mean, we keeping our foot on their throat and just keeping the game going.
Thanks, DJ.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, DJ. You think you've done really well these last 5 games now that maybe consistency was a struggle with to start the year?
I don't really think I could put it on any one thing. I think I've just finally settled in to my comfort level, my teammates, coaches, and just everybody. I know it takes a while, so I'm just finally settling in, as well as the guys just with the new team and just a lot of new stuff. So I feel like just the chemistry and energy is finally flowing, and I'm just trying to embrace, again, my new role and where I'm at, and I feel like the energy is just flowing with myself in that way.
What's this? It seems like you guys are having a lot of fun. Ty said pregame that defense, when it's fun like that, when you guys are getting stops, can ignite a team and be fun.
Yanni, good work, my boy. Yes, sir.
What has that just been like? The fun that you guys are having out there.
No, he's right. You know, when we're playing defense, getting stops and turnovers, the game becomes fun. Getting easy baskets in transition. When teammates are cheering for each other and excited that other people are doing well, it just creates an environment where you want to continue playing good basketball, and the wins follow after. So just a good vibe for the team that we want to stay, obviously, on course with and hopefully lead to something greater.
What clicked for this defense? Why all of a sudden turned around?
I just think it was a matter of time, honestly. I feel like we've been putting the effort in, the intensity, the attention to detail. We have guys that can defend, world-class defenders in the perimeter, in the paint, and guys who've won. So I feel like it was just a matter of time for us started clicking, and I can't really put any one thing on it, but our effort and our want to defend has been there all year.
Ty's been talking about like a full 48-minute game out of you guys, and tonight seems like it meets that criteria for him. What is beyond just the scoreboard and stuff, like what does a 48-minute game look like from intent purposes right out of the gate?
Just obviously the energy, intensity that we have, especially defensively, being locked in on our game plan. And I feel like another big thing of a good team win is obviously the guys in normal rotation come in and do their job, but also, our young guys coming in hungry, coming in ready to play, wanting to play, giving energy and effort, and trying to continue to push that lead out. That also entails a team win. So, from the last man to everybody, starting the game, we all were locked in, ready to go.
How good is it to have Derek back?
Oh, it's lovely, man. He does a lot for us that you might not see on the stat sheet. His just athleticism, his experience, and just what he brings. Again, helps me out with defensively and everybody else. But just the energy and the vibe he brings, again, it's nice to just have DJ back. So
is it still a bounce, brothers?
Oh, for sure. I don't think that's going anywhere, especially on a night like tonight. We both got get up on the rim a little bit, and we love to dunk.
What's we've talked about Kawhi, but these last 5 games, he's just been on a different level. What have you seen out of him as he's kind of taken a step up and led you guys here?
No, yeah, Kawhi's obviously been on a heater. So, you know, what can I say? I mean, he's done it at every level. You know what I mean? We're sort of not expecting him to, you know, go for 55 every night, but we're expecting him to do his thing, and we're all supporting him. And I don't got too much to say. Like I said, he's great in his own right, and I expect greatness from him, and I'm going to continue to have his back.
What's it like watching him now as a teammate? I mean, he's been efficient as hell, and you get to be on his side now instead of facing him. What's that been like?
It's amazing. It's amazing to not obviously have to guard it, but to watch him go out there every night and pick defenses apart and sort of do it his way is really nice to see, and it's nice to watch from a basketball mindset to sort of learn from him every night, and again continue to cheer him on while he's cooking.
Thank you. Thanks, John.
You got it.
Thank you, John. More threes up, but how much of an adjustment has it been to be this aggressive offensively?
It's nothing new. Always come in the game playing aggressive. You know, it's just about trying to find different angles and things like that, or just where I could get more attempts up rather than let the defense kind of much do what they want or want me to do at times. But you know, overall, it's just about getting used to it, getting your legs, you know, prepared for the moment, and then you know, it's just a steady progression.
When was the last time you were able to trust your body this well?
Last year, I played. When I came back, I felt pretty good.
What are some of the things that you guys have been doing consistently well this 5-game streak that maybe wasn't as consistent during the start of the season?
I think we're just playing better. Like I was saying, we got more talent on the floor by getting in the gym, working out, you know, and then you know, the cream is rising to the top. You see all the work guys are putting in, and they're making threes now. I don't know how many we made tonight, but I think we were getting, you know, JC making those wide open corner threes, Nico coming in making a three, Chris Dunn making, you know, multiple threes tonight. Myself as well, James and Brooke is stepping in, making threes. So I think it's just, you know, overall collective of how we are getting these games won.
You mentioned getting up more threes as yourself and as a team. Why is that so important for you guys to get up more threes?
It's just the way the league is now. You know, three is better than two at this point. A lot of guys aren't really able to get a two-pointer off. Just focus on getting into the lane, but you know, it's just you know, playing the game. More threes you shoot, the more you make, and we want to make more.
How good is it to have Derek back, specifically defensively for you guys?
It's great. A guy that is, you know, takes pride on that end, wants to stop his man, get rebounds, get out in transition, high fly. Also another guy that can make some threes for us, and you know, I'm happy for him that he's able to play basketball again.
When you warm up, you never seem to warm up at full speed. I'm curious, what is it about your warm up at that speed that allows you to properly prepare for a game and the game speed?
I mean, just repetition. You know, your overall like cerebral effect will take over once you're in the game. But you know, we work out all summer playing at a fast pace, or just trying to make the defense rush me. And yeah, I mean, it's just how the workouts come and how the game flows. But I don't think nobody's going 100% in a warm up, especially if you're probably going to play 40 minutes. So it's just about form and technique and footwork.
Ty's talked about like playing a 48-minute game, a full 48-minute game for you guys. Tonight would classify as that. Like, what has changed in these last 5 games to where you guys are putting forth these 48-minute efforts that weren't there before? Is it something as simple as just energy is a little bit higher, guys are a little bit looser, anything like that?
Like I was saying, I think you know, you get a rhythm when you start playing basketball. You start to see you know, every day or every other day that you're gonna play a game, and you know, it just starts to, you know, fall in line as a routine. And I think, like I said, guys know what we need to work on. We've been in the gym working, and you know, it paid off these last few games. It's been big for guys making wide open shots for us.
Thanks, Kawhi.
Thanks, Kawhi.
So we're back. Just heard from Coach, and he just like myself. He's excited about the energy that the team is giving him because many people, some of our media members, media pundits, was like, "Oh man, he lost the locker room." I don't think he lost the locker room at all. These guys are locked in on this 5-game winning streak, and they're ready to continue to win. They got Utah coming up on the first to open up the year. They're feeling good. So. What level of confidence do you have in this team going forward, Beef? I'll start with you, then we'll get to Fredo.
Well, I'll say this: that Utah team is a dangerous team to face on New Year's Day.
Okay.
George and that whole speed. If you don't remember when the season first opened up for the Clippers, the Jazz ran them out the building just off of youth alone. So we're going to see how this is going to go. But that is a team I'm kind of worried about. And then when you look a little further in the future, they have the Boston Celtics coming to town.
Yeah.
So the streak is alive. You know, we're ending end of the year on a high note.
5-0.
Hey, that's good with me. Let's see if we can start 2026 on a good note.
Yeah, 5-0. What's your confidence level for this team, Fredo, as they continue to try to push this streak and just continue to play really good basketball?
I mean, again, it starts on the defensive end of the ball. You got to be able to play defense 48 minutes, not just 24, 36. You got to play 48 minutes, and they did that exactly today. But you brought it up right now, Beef, as well. The Boston Celtics come into town on Saturday night. So that's a big test. Jaylen Brown, one of the best two-way players you got out there right now, leading that Boston team that's kind of depleted as well. No Jason Tatum, Derek White in and out. You got some players there. So, again, Boston will give the Clippers a great test to really see, okay, the Clippers beat the Lakers. They also beat they beat Detroit. They beat Houston. They beat Portland up in Portland as well. So it's like, okay, you beat a few teams. Now let's put the Boston Celtics up there. I mean, the Charlotte Hornets are also going to be coming into town shortly. Then the Lakers come back again in 2 weeks from now. So that will also be a big test to kind of see where you're at before the All-Star break.
Yes.
Hopefully by the time you're in the All-Star break, you are at least a few games right under 500 or right there where you want to be to hopefully be able to kickstart and see if they can make a play-in push towards the end of the year.
I've been telling you, Clipper Nation, this team just believe because they weren't far off of the top 10 spots, and that's where you want to be play-in. Who will want to play the Clippers in a play-in situation with the Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, who can go for 50? So just continue to fight. Hell, with the way they're playing, now you might can start thinking maybe we can get to the 7th spot, you know, if we can get things right to where we can have home games. And the season has a lot more games to go. We're only going to be at the first of the year.
Definitely.
Season ends in, May? So there's still time. But so far, so good. Me and Beef going with 5-0. Going into the new year, and we're going to roll with that. Before we go, player of the game tonight, Beef, who you got? Who was that guy that shined the body?
The young guy, Yannick.
Oh, I like it.
Yannick, high flyer, blocking shots, rebounding. For a young fella that's new to the league, there was a lot of question marks when he was drafted. A lot of fans that said, excuse my language, who the hell is this guy? And to him now playing key minutes for the Los Angeles Clippers as the backup center is phenomenal.
No, yeah, I love it. Before the game, you had Brook Lopez. Who you got for the post game?
Yeah, I mean, you look at John Collins. You know, he missed the last game, and for John Collins to go ahead and come in here scoring 16 points in about 20 minutes or so, being able to as well. He's another key player. You guys were kind of talking about it earlier about what the Clippers could do moving forward. And again, he can also be an X-factor type player who also extends the floor. Maybe again, when we go back into talking about Zoo, it'll take Zoo's minutes away a little bit, give some John Collins a little bit more run down there, because John Collins kind of proved it when he was in Atlanta. He proved it when he was in Utah, and some of these other teams he's been kind of moving back and forth. But it seems like he can have a solid home here in Los Angeles with this Clipper ball club here. So hopefully with this type of playing, Kawhi, James, Zoo comes back, everyone's here, kind of see they can possibly win 45 by the end of the year.
Yeah, hey, the spacing is good, and I think it helps John Collins. I'm going with the cheat code, the claw himself, Kawhi Leonard. After 55, I said he was going to get 30-plus. Remember, I said 30-plus. He had 33 points, did his thing. Really quiet 33 because they were smacking the Kings the entire night. So shout out to Kawhi. Let's see him continue to stay healthy and keep this up. Fingers crossed that this is the Kawhi we see the rest of the year, because Kawhi being great is just good for the game of basketball.
It's good for business.
So, yeah, and then it's great for business here. Great for business for us, because we can talk about more wins and more victories. We are going to be back on the 1st for a big game versus the Utah Jazz. So I hope Clipper Nation is ready to cheer for the first game of 2026 for your Los Angeles Clippers. Mike, Fredo, Beef, we'll see you guys next time.
Before I go, Clippers.com, please vote for your All-Stars. Get them in the All-Star game. The All-Star game is going to be here February 13th through the 15th here at Intuit Dome. Please vote for Kawhi, James Harden, and Zubac. Throw him in there. Even though he hurt, throw him in there. Maybe you might throw John Collins in there, but vote on Clippers.com. Let's go.